Welcome back, everybody. It's Cody. We got a little bit of a holiday project for you today. Now, years ago when we moved into this house, Jessica found this beautiful mantel that has been in our primary bedroom for years, and she always decorated it and it looked fabulous, but obviously something's missing from it. So, last year, for Christmas, I decided to give her this, a fireplace insert. Now, this thing has sat there for like 9 months, and Christmas this year is coming along. We're like, okay, we got to get this done. So Jessica drew this nice picture for me for inspo, and she nailed it. We first toyed around with the idea of using, traditional backer board and tile and mastic and grout, and we were like, forget all that. We got to get this done. So instead, we decided to use this peel and stick tile, which we've never used before, but hey, we're going to give it a go and see what happens. So we got started with some measurements, figure out all the cuts we need to make. We made a nice little drawing here, you can see. And now it's time to really get to work. By the way, these sawhorses are from a company called Bora. They're called the Bora Speed Horse, and they're awesome because they're really quick to set up. Okay, so instead of real tile, we're going to use this adhesive tile that actually looks really good. It's got stick root in the back, so you have to apply it to a very smooth surface. Plywood wouldn't work. It needs to be clean, dry, and smooth for this thing to adhere right, apparently. That's what the instructions say. But you don't have to go this thick on the MDF. My son just built an amp box, and so he had this laying around, and so he's letting us use it. So now we use the drawing that we made and started marking up the MDF about where we needed to cut. So we're going to have to do 2 sets of cuts. The first, obviously, is to get the MDF to be the correct size for the mantle insert. And then after that, we got to cut the hole for the fireplace. All right, time to start cutting. So I'm just going to use a regular circular saw here to make the initial cuts. Now I have to cut out the hole for the fireplace. Again, just using a circular saw here. Because we're cutting a hole out of the middle of the MDF, I have to use what's called a plunge cut to get the saw in there, and then from there I can move forward. So we use the circular saw to get most of the cut done. But to get these corners, because the circular saw, you don't want to overcut, it doesn't go all the way through. So I'm just going to take a jigsaw to kind of clean up and get the final corners done. All right, that should do it. Let's see if I got them all. Yeah. Okay, so at the bottom we have a piece of trim board at the bottom of the mantle. So we need to cut a little 45. I didn't measure the angle, but it'll be close enough, and then cut down so we have it notched in properly, and then we'll use tile to kind of fill in any gaps we have. Okay, these are blocking, so we need something to attach the MDF to, and so we're going to screw this into the side of the mantle underneath. So I'm going to attach some blocking here on the side of the mantle so that we have something to screw this guy into. Should be a piece of cake. I'm using a 2.5. These are actually cabinet screws, is what I got. It'll be fine. I just need to be long enough to go through this ripped 2x4. And into here. All right, moment of truth. We're gonna dry fit this puppy and see if it works. gonna work. So we'll tack this in either using some finishing nails or screws. If we use screws, we're gonna have to recess them because we're putting tile over this. But, and then we should cover up any little small gaps here. We'll just push that tile right up against it. We should be good. Okay, so earlier I mentioned that we were gonna probably tack these in this way, either using a finish nail or some screw as well. Through some highly scientific calculations and the help of my wife, we decided to go ahead and just go in from the back because it'd be a lot easier. So we're gonna do that. All right, now that we have this space secured, we're about to put tile on. Okay, baby, I'm filming right now, so why don't I talk like a Southern woman? Okay, we need you to go over here. Okay, now that we got this attached, I'm gonna do a dry fit to make sure this thing fits all right, but it's gonna have to rest on something, and so fortunately, this is 7 inches right here, and there's no lip on the bottom of this, and so I have a 2x6 that I found in the garage, and 5.5 plus 1.5 inches is 7, so that's perfect. So I'll just set it there. I'm not going to attach it to anything. So getting ready to cut some tile, and almost done. What up? It fits. So to prep the surface for the peel and stick tile, I'm just wiping it down with some tack cloth. It can't be wet, it's gotta be smooth, can't have any dust or debris on it.
Hey, is your shirt inside out?
No, this is how all Aggies wear their t-shirts. They wear them inside out. This is intentional.
No, it's not.
Thanks to our sponsor, True Classic T-shirts, I'm now wearing it as they designed it. So I'm gonna push this up flush and mark it in the back. So to cut the peel and stick tile, I'm just using a utility knife with a really sharp blade. You could also use an X-Acto and then a straight edge. And you cut it kind of like you cut drywall or anything else. You make a score or several scores, and then you can break it off. Stick. Voila. So with the first tile in place, it's pretty much rinse and repeat. Now, you have to be careful because you only have like one shot at placing the tile. And so you want to make sure everything lines up properly, that you're making really accurate cuts. And then you peel the back of it off and then put it on, and then you press firmly. And that's really it. The material is actually pretty easy to work with as long as you're just careful. Now with the herringbone pattern, you're going to have to make some funky cuts, but you would have to do that no matter what, whether you're using this stuff or tile. So to speed things up, Jessica and I decided to do divide and conquer. She cut everything, and then I would peel and stick. In a couple places there were some very small gaps, especially around the edge where the tile met the mantel. And so to fix that, we're just going to go in with some caulk. In order to get a clean line of caulk, we put some painter's tape where the mantel met the fireplace, and there you go. Now with the whole thing done, it's time for the moment of truth. It beeped, that's a good sign. Okay. Let's pour it out of the way. Real nice. And we are done. Now with me out of the way, it's time to turn it over to Jessica to do her magic. And there she is. She's looking fabulous and she's ready for the holidays. Oh, and by the way, that fireplace insert does put out heat. It's got a little fan that'll blow that hot air into the room to keep you warm on those cool nights. Birdie's loving it. Well, she's also loving the fact they gave her like $20 in dog treats to get her to stay there for this shot. If you want to know about any of the products we use on this project, they're in a link in the description. So with this project off of my list, I've got more holiday projects coming. Next week we're taking on the house. I got to decorate the outside of the house. Jessica's doing the inside of the house. So make sure you stay tuned for more Christmas fun.